What if everything you were taught about power was backwards? What if the real source of strength, clarity, confidence, and influence wasn't something you chase outside of yourself, but something you've been giving away without even realizing it? The fluid inside your body that has the ability to create an entirely new human life is not ordinary. It isn't random. It isn't cheap. It carries potential, intelligence, and raw creative force. And when that force is constantly wasted, life feels heavy, confusing, and dull. But when it is conserved, redirected, and mastered, something extraordinary begins to happen. Semen is not just biological material. It is life energy in its densest form. It is the blueprint of creation itself. And when it is retained, the body does not simply discard it. The body is far too intelligent for that. Instead, it reabsorbs, refines, and redistributes this energy throughout your system. Within just a couple of weeks, the body begins reallocating nutrients, minerals, and life force toward repairing the brain, strengthening the nervous system, enhancing muscle tissue, and stabilizing hormones. This is not magic. This is efficiency. The body shifts from constant output mode into optimization mode. As retention continues, the changes become impossible to ignore. Mental fog starts to lift. Focus becomes sharper. Your posture changes without you trying. Your eyes look clearer. Your voice sounds calmer and more grounded. People start responding to you differently, even when you say very little. You don't force presence. Presence arrives naturally. This is the early sign that your internal energy is reorganizing itself. Most men never experience this because they never stop leaking their power. They chase stimulation. They chase pleasure. They chase validation. And each time, the nervous system pays the price. Dopamine spikes, then crashes. Motivation fades. Discipline weakens. The cycle repeats, but semen retention interrupts that loop completely. Dopamine stabilizes. Testosterone rises naturally. Energy stops being scattered and starts being directed. At first, the journey is not comfortable. The body and mind resist change. Old habits don't leave quietly. For the first few weeks, urges may feel stronger than ever. Mood can fluctuate. Sleep patterns may shift. This is not failure. This is withdrawal. The system is recalibrating. Years of overstimulation are being undone. And just like any reset, there is friction before balance. Those who quit here never see what's on the other side. But those who stay steady begin to enter a different phase altogether. Energy returns, not in bursts, but in waves. Motivation feels cleaner. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel desperate. You feel centered. This period is often called the honeymoon phase. Everything feels lighter. Work feels easier. Conversations flow. Confidence rises, without arrogance. Then comes the phase that separates those who change their lives from those who return to old patterns. The flatline. This is where the nervous system rewires at a deep level. Motivation may drop. Emotions can feel flat or heavy. You may question why you even started. This is not a sign that retention isn't working. It's proof that it is. Old dopamine pathways are collapsing. New ones are being built. The body is learning how to generate energy internally instead of borrowing it from stimulation. This phase tests patience, it tests discipline, and it tests identity. Many people abandon the practice here because they mistake silence for failure. But silence is where power is forged. The key during this time is structure. Work, movement, purpose, routine. You don't wait to feel motivated. You act, and motivation follows later. This is how energy becomes stable instead of reactive. If you move through this phase without breaking, something rare begins to form inside you. Ancient traditions called it ojas. Not a myth, not a fantasy. A refined internal force created when sexual energy is no longer expelled, but transformed. This energy doesn't stay trapped. It rises. It nourishes the brain. It strengthens the nerves. It sharpens perception. It creates a quiet authority that people feel without you saying a word. This is the point where life starts responding differently to you. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You don't chase attention, yet people notice you. Stressful situations lose their grip. Things that once triggered anxiety now feel almost amusing. Not because you don't care, but because you're no longer internally unstable. Your center is solid. As ojas builds, intuition sharpens. You begin sensing outcomes before they happen. Conversations feel predictable. You can read people's intentions quickly, not through judgment, but through clarity. You become generous with your energy, yet selective with your time. You help without draining yourself. You work without burning out. Around the 2 to 3 month mark, many experience moments of deep insight, sudden realizations, patterns clicking together, a sense that life is communicating with you through small details. Music, random conversations, timings, coincidences. It feels less like chaos and more like alignment. Not because the world changed, but because your perception did. Sleep changes too. You don't need as much of it. And when you sleep, it's deeper, more restorative. You wake up ready instead of drained. The body is no longer exhausted from constant release and recovery. Energy is conserved and circulated instead. By the time 6 months arrive, the transformation is undeniable. The urges that once controlled you now appear as distant impulses that dissolve quickly. Discipline becomes automatic. Work ethic strengthens. You don't need external pressure. Purpose drives you. And the most surprising part is this: you don't feel superior. You feel peaceful, grounded, content. You don't need to prove anything. You simply perform. Success begins showing up naturally. Financial opportunities, creative ideas, leadership roles. People trust you. They listen. They follow, not because you demand it, but because your energy is coherent. There is no inner conflict leaking out. At this stage, many people feel life becoming dreamlike. Time speeds up. Days pass quickly. You're present, yet detached. Focused, yet relaxed. You're living, but not clinging. This balance is rare, and it's built from self-control, not force. The deeper truth is this: semen retention alone is not enough. The real transformation happens through sublimation. Channeling that energy into work, creation, movement, service, and discipline. Without sublimation, retention feels like torture. With sublimation, it becomes bliss. The same energy that once created craving now creates clarity. As the months continue, your life becomes quieter internally, even if externally it grows bigger. Drama fades. Mental attacks weaken. Fear loses authority. You act from intention instead of impulse. You stop reacting and start choosing. Around 9 months to a year, many report a strange sense of guidance, as if life itself is arranging things in your favor. You still work hard. You still show up, but resistance drops. Doors open. People appear at the right time. You don't feel lucky. You feel aligned. Your goals no longer come from ego or comparison. They come from contribution, from building, from leaving something meaningful behind. And this is where the journey truly begins. Not at the start, not at the urges, not even at the flatline. But here, where discipline becomes identity. This path is not easy. It was never meant to be. If it were, everyone would walk it. But that difficulty is what gives it value. The discomfort refines you, the restraint strengthens you, and the patience rebuilds you from the inside out. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Apply what you can. And remember, the power you're looking for was never outside of you. It was always waiting for you to stop giving it away. If this message reached you, it wasn't random. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep walking forward.